Neil, first of all, your thoughts on Mark Harris? If he can play like he talks, he should be in for quite a good player.
I've not heard him talk, so I don't know. But like I say, it's difficult to get players in at this stage. But I think I've said in a couple of interviews, we need people who have played football at this level. And he's had a loan spell at Newport, and he did quite well there. So he was obviously somebody that we wanted to bring in, and he'll now be available for Saturday.
How much stronger do you feel you could be with him in the side looking for goals?
We need to bring in a couple of forwards. I think I've said that. If we choose one, and we're still trying to bring in another one, which I'm hopeful that we'll get. And then if we've got a couple of forwards who've come in, we've got Popey coming back from injury, got Ricky Miller who's played the last couple of games, and then we've got 4 strikers who will have played league football, and then we're not relying on say Danny Elliott, but he can then play in the reserves, and we can be more patient with him. But the other 4 then would compete for for up front, and hopefully that's better competition than we've had earlier in the season.
How tough have you found it this month trying to sign forwards? Because you said at the start of the month that it's a difficult month to bring in anybody.
No, it is, but I think everybody's got the same, and look, it's always about performances. I think you're trying to get to the end of January in a better position squad-wise than you were at the start of January, and I think it's only then when you look at the squad at the end of that and you can make your own thoughts if that's been achieved. But that's what you're trying to do, and with another week to go, I'm hopeful that we'll get another 1 or 2 players in.
How far off is Tom Pope at the moment? How's he looking?
I think with Tom, the one thing about him is that he's going to be desperate to play. We've got to make sure we don't rush him back with a hamstring and he pulls it again. So I think we're going to be sensible. But I've spoken to him this morning, and I think he's happy with the progress he's making.
You mentioned you're looking at another forward. Are you able to put a time scale on that at the moment? Is Saturday too soon?
Yes, I think we'll probably look into have another striker in Monday, available for Tuesday.
That will be 4 if you bring them through the door. Does that mean that in the last week of the transfer window there could be any outs maybe?
The only way I would consider anybody going out was obviously if we get these players in. Then I've got to do what's best, what I feel for the player as well. Is that player going to be playing? Would it benefit them going out on loan? I think that's always something you have to weigh up. You need to have choices, and you need to have a squad of players, but you don't want to have players that are not happy about not playing and who are disgruntled really, and not getting a chance. And I like to be as fair as I can with the players, so that's something I'll have to look at.
How hard is that? Because you won't want an unhappy player, but at the same time you won't want a player who's happy to not be playing.
Yeah, no, well, I think there's a difference. I think if a player's not happy to, if a player is happy that he's not playing, then that can't be right. Because at the end of the day, everybody's got to want to play, but the player's got to conduct himself in the right manner. I understand people being frustrated. I think you would be, but you've got to be professional, and you've got to realise that it's nothing personal. You've got to keep training and wait for your chance.
Great win last Saturday. Now, how confident are you can get this home form sorted starting this weekend?
It's going to be a difficult game because obviously Carlisle are doing well. I think they've won 7 of the last 10 games, so they're in really good form. But we can't pick and choose who we're going to play. We've got to get our own form at home. It's got to improve. We've got to make sure we defend better than we have done in the home games, because we need to have to be solid to try and win the game. But that's going to define the season really, how we do at home. I think you can't expect all the time to be picking up results away from home, but certainly at home you've got to be winning your fair share of games. And whether it's a team we're playing who's top of the league or bottom of the league, I don't think it matters. We've got to get our own game in order, and Saturday it's a big test, but we've got to approach it in the right manner, and the end of the day, the players have got to do the jobs out on the pitch.
If you look at how different you've been in your last 2 games, how big a boost will it be to have Crooks and Gibbons available for selection?
Yeah, well, I watched the first half again. I've just been watching the first half of the Bristol Rovers game. I thought for the first 15 minutes, watching it again, we actually had started quite well, and not in terms of making chances, but certainly in possession. We were comfortable. They had not had a shot at goal, and then really we give them the goal, the first goal. We obviously tried to pinch it in midfield, and then I think we had enough bodies around to have blocked the shot. And then they've made 2 of the chances. One they should have scored and one they hit the post, but they're both down to us not defending well enough. So I think I would say yes, we didn't do enough going forward, but in general play we passed it reasonably well. I just think, well, it's all in hindsight. Yeah, if we could have started with the same team, we probably, certainly, I would have expected us to defend better on the occasions they got in. And then I've not watched the second half because I know from the sending off it was game over really. I'm not going to analyse that too much when we're down to 10 men and 2-0 down. But the first half, there was some positives in the way we passed the ball, but you know, it's always about both boxes, and we didn't do enough to score. And at the other end, we were poor on a couple of occasions defensively.